Would the class of 2015 please be seated? Good evening and welcome to the 2015 Tartan High School Commencement Ceremony. I'm Adam Ermentrout, the principal at Tartan High School. The class of 2015 marks our 44th graduating class. Tonight, Dr. Tony Didier and Mrs. Tracy Hansen will be leading our student musical and choral performances. And you just heard bagpiper Michael Breidenbach perform Scotland the Brave, Tartan's official school song. Next, please join me in welcoming one of our exceptional student leaders this year, our Student Council President, Felicia Philibert.
Good evening, everyone. I'm honored to welcome you all here to celebrate Tartan High School's graduating class of 2015. I'd like to give a special welcome to our wonderful faculty who have helped us every step of the way for these past 4 years, as well as the incredible family members who have also been right there for support. I'm especially proud to welcome my fellow graduates. It's surreal to be standing here right now, and I'm sure it hasn't hit most of you out there yet that your high school career is over. Each year that a new group of seniors comes and goes through Tartan, their achievements seem to multiply. The class of 2015 has some of the most talented and brilliant students in the state. We have some students following their passion for sports with athletic scholarships to D1 schools. We have others pursuing their dream jobs. There are students with thousands of dollars in academic scholarships, and some who are leaving their family and friends for months to go serve their country. They also make it a goal to help their community. This year, we helped raise over $100,000 for Relay for Life. Between National Honor Society, Student Council, Uprising, and numerous other groups and clubs, hundreds of volunteer hours have been put in this year. Not only are they showing generosity outside of the classroom, but they're also making strides to show progress within it. This class has earned the most college credits of any class to pass through Tartan thus far. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to introduce you to a group of students who is truly leaving their mark on Tartan, the graduating class of 2015. I now have the privilege of introducing you all to a sensational woman, our District 622 Superintendent, Mrs. Patty Phillips. I've seen Mrs. Phillips at almost every event I've attended at Tartan. She's never just sitting in an office doing paperwork. She's always on the front lines interacting with the students and faculty she works with. And not only does she attend events, she takes pictures and posts them on the internet for everyone to admire our district. I'm fairly certain she's the most social media active person in all of District 622. She now has a Twitter and an Instagram. And with that, one of the most involved with our students and community. I've also never seen her without a smile on her face, despite how much she exerts herself. In 2010, Mrs. Phillips was selected for Superintendent of the Year in the state of Minnesota, a title that I believe still holds true. Mrs. Phillips will sadly be retiring after this year, and I know that everyone will miss her dearly. None of us will forget your hard work for District 622, and we want to help you remember us as well. We hope you can cherish all your experiences with a memory book from the students of Tartan High School. We're beyond fortunate to have had her in this district for the past 10 years. So give her a huge round of applause, Mrs. Patty Phillips.
Thank you, class of 2015. It's my pleasure to be here and introduce tonight's honored guests. Guests, please stand when I call your names, and please hold your applause until all of the guests have been introduced. Assistant Superintendent Troy Miller. He was, once upon a time, just like you graduates, a 622 student. He was principal at Webster Elementary School. He now oversees our teaching and learning department and supervises all of our principals. All 7 of our board members are here tonight, and they will be presenting the graduates with their diplomas. They are the elected officials who set the academic, policy, and financial direction of our school district. And they put students at the center of every single decision. School Board Chair, Teresa Auger. School Board Vice Chair, Steve Hunt. School Board Clerk, Nancy Livingston. School Board Treasurer, Michelle Yenner. Director, Caleb Anderson. Director, Amy Colborn. Director, Becky Navy. Before I introduce our faculty speaker, I just wanted to offer my congratulations to the graduates. I graduated 47 years ago, and I can remember sitting where you sat, but I don't remember a single word that was said that night, especially from the speakers. And I was one of the speakers, so that's kind of sad. So I wanted to take a crack at saying something really memorable that'll stick with you as you go off into the world. And my message actually came to me yesterday morning. I walked over to Eagle Point Elementary School, and I happened to look down on the sidewalk. And there, written by a very young child in white chalk, were these words: the 3 rules of life. Number 1, and this is my advice to you. Number 1, smile. Number 2, be happy. And number 3, have fun. And then I thought, are those words really memorable? So I went into the building, and the 5th graders were practicing for their 5th grade graduation. So I told them what I had seen on the sidewalk, written by one of their Eagle Point students. And I said, here's the 3 rules for life. And then, without even saying I was going to check for understanding, I said, so what are they? And they played them right back to me. 1, smile. 2, be happy. And 3, have fun. So then I was on a roll, so I went to the kindergarten classrooms. And I asked the kindergarten students, I shared the 3 rules of life and asked them if they knew what the 3 rules were, and they said them back. So class of 2015, what are the 3 rules of life? Number 1, number 2, and number 3, wishing you good health and happiness as you follow your dreams and leave District 622. Let's give them a hand. And now I have the honor of introducing someone who needs no introduction to the class of 2015, your Tartan faculty speaker, Ms. Terry High. Ms. High is a North St. Paul native, and she's a Tartan grad. And actually, all of her children graduated from 622 schools. She has been teaching at Tartan for 24 years, and she teaches advanced placement chemistry and college prep chemistry. She and her husband, Robert, are the proud parents of 3 children and 4 incredible grandchildren. Those of you that are here probably know the class votes to select who is going to be their faculty speaker. And why did they select Ms. Terry High? Well, the students said she's the first one to school in the morning, the last to leave at night. She's always there for them, and she really cares. She's super interesting and makes chemistry fun. She doesn't act too mature for them. She said she's really on our level in a really good way. And I guess that gets a little murmur and chuckle. She's outstanding at explaining all the complicated stuff that makes up chemistry. And if you don't get it, she changes the way she teaches. I hear over and over again that she's really funny, great sense of humor, loves all the students, and she can get through to absolutely everyone. Let's give a warm welcome to a former Tartan cheerleader, and why would that not surprise anyone? And a former Tartan Student Council president, and that's not surprising either. The teacher who lives by the 3 rules. I've never seen her not smiling, being happy, and having fun. The teacher the class of 2015 chose to give them their last lecture, Miss Terry High.
Man, there is nothing like an introduction from her. It should be on your bucket list. Parents, notice I said parents first. Relatives, friends, Tartan faculty and staff, distinguished guests, and last but not least, graduates. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate the achievements of this amazing class of 2015. There's something very special about this class. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but you are very special. I know that I speak for my colleagues when I say that we are so proud of you. Artists paint pictures, and carpenters build houses, and engineers design machines, but teachers, coaches, and administrators invest in students. You are our product. And we are so proud of the small part that each of us has played in your formation and education. You are a remarkable graduating class, and I am so honored to be your speaker. You're amazing. So this is the last time I will teach you in my official capacity as a 622 employee. And I want my last lesson to be memorable as well as useful. So tonight, I would like to talk about perseverance. What does it mean to persevere, and why does perseverance matter? I'm a teacher, obviously, so let's begin with the definition of perseverance. It means to persist in or remain constant to a purpose, ideal, or task in the face of obstacles or discouragement. Listen to that again. Perseverance means to persist in or remain constant to a purpose, ideal, or task in the face of obstacles or discouragement. So I want to tell you a story. I love to tell my students stories. Sometimes they're even appropriate. This is actually my story, and first you need to know a little bit about my background. I graduated from Tartan in 1979, and I absolutely loved high school. I went to college and did very well. I made great friends, loved my classes, met and married a wonderful man. I graduated with highest honors, and in the fall of 1984, I landed my first teaching job at Hill Murray High School. I was hired to teach chemistry and 9th grade physical science, and my starting salary was a whopping $12,495 a year. Life was good. What else could you want? Maybe some food. Then things got tough. I had a huge taste of failure. The problem was I was pretty much an awful teacher. And it wasn't from the lack of trying. I really worked hard on my lesson plans. I wrote great behavioral objectives. I planned my classes to the very last second. In fact, I did everything they told me to do in college, but things were going from bad to worse. I won't bore you with lots of stories from my first year in teaching, but one of them is at 1 o'clock every day, my 9th graders would do the wave during my lecture. They thought it was funny. I still have a problem with ninth graders. It's from this time, so it's a good thing I teach juniors mainly. And then there was the broken window. To this day, I'm still not sure how it happened, but it had something to do with a flying textbook. Right before Christmas vacation, my department chair and my principal pulled me aside and delivered the message that maybe it was time for me to consider a different career. I was absolutely devastated. My dream of being not only a teacher, but a teacher that made a difference in her students' life was all but dead. There was something I wanted to do, and I wanted to do it well, and I couldn't pull it off. My mistakes in the classroom that first year were too numerous to count. And during Christmas break of my first year, I went to the University of Minnesota and met with an advisor in the School of Pharmacy. And I had a chemistry major, and so I was admitted to the pre-pharmacy program. I decided to finish out my first year at Hill Murray and then go back to college. My mom comes into the story at this point. She was worried about me. What is it about moms? They always know. She saw how unhappy I was, and she gave me a book, and the book was entitled Growing Strong in the Seasons of Life by Charles Swindoll. Years later, I asked her why she chose this particular book, and she said because Billy Graham wrote the foreword, and in it he wrote, "This book is a balanced diet of hope for the discouraged, a refuge for the hurting, a challenge for the weary, and a friend for the lonely." She said it sounded like me. One of the chapters was entitled The Dark Side of Greatness, and this short story literally changed the course of my life, and I would like to read it to you now. When he was 7 years old, his family was forced out of their home because of a legal technicality. He had to work to help support them at age 7. At age 9, while still a backward and shy little boy, his mother died. At 22, he lost his job as a store clerk. He wanted to go to law school, but his education was not good enough. At 23, he went into debt to become a partner in a small store. 3 years later, his partner died, leaving him a huge debt that took years to repay. At 37, on his third try, he was finally elected to Congress. 2 years later, he ran again and was failed to be reelected. I should add, at about this time, he had what some would call today a nervous breakdown. At 41, adding additional heartache to an already unhappy marriage, his 4-year-old son died. The next year, he was rejected for land officer. At 45, he ran for the Senate and lost. 2 years later, he was defeated for the nomination of the vice president. Add to this an endless barrage of criticism and misunderstanding, ugly and false rumors, and deep periods of depression, and you realize it's no wonder why he was snubbed by his peers and despised by the multitudes. Hardly the envy of his day. At 51, however, he was elected President of the United States, but his second term was cut short by his assassination. As he lay dying in the little rooming house across from the place he was shot, Edwin Stanton spoke this fitting tribute: "There lies the most perfect ruler the world has ever seen, and now he belongs to the ages." By now, you realize it was spoken about the most inspirational and highly regarded president in American history. Abraham Lincoln became my hero in the winter of 1985. Why? Because he persevered. He remained constant to a purpose, ideal, or task in the face of obstacles or discouragement. During the last 30 years, I have read and studied his life extensively. And this is what I would like to share with you tonight. What do I admire about Lincoln? First of all, his wit. Once in a debate with Stephen Douglas, Douglas called Lincoln two-faced, and Lincoln's reply was legendary. He said, "I leave it to my audience. If I had another face, do you think I'd be wearing this one?" I know he was a man of integrity. His name was Honest Abe. He was also a man of vision. Years before he was elected to the presidency, he said, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." I believe that government cannot endure permanently half slave and half free. He was a very learned man, despite less than 1 year of formal education, and he had a power of the written and spoken word that was second to none. But the thing I admire most about the man, and the thing I want you to take into your heart tonight is this: the person who succeeds is not the one who holds back fearing failure, nor the one who never fails, but the one who moves on in spite of failure. His life was a model of perseverance. Think about it. Everyone in this room has failed, and we will fail many times in our lives. It's just part of the human condition. But you need to have the courage to continue. Many times since I first read The Dark Side of Greatness, I have thought, what would have happened if he would have quit? Who would have preserved the Union? Who would have drafted the Emancipation Proclamation? Class of 2015, in your lifetime, you will face bitter hardship. You will face unfair and undeserved abuses. You will face loneliness and loss, humiliating failures, and debilitating disappointments. How will you react? For me, the life lesson was that people in this life that carry the marks of greatness have come through the fire, melted, beaten, reshaped, and tempered. My story is continuing. I obviously decided to stay in education. I found the courage to keep trying. My second year was much better, and truthfully, there are days when I still struggle. And you know those days, because I scream, I could have been a pharmacist. But I have absolutely loved teaching students for the past 24 years at Tartan High School. And once again, congratulations, amazing class of 2015. Now let's get you graduated.
Experiences in education uncover tremendous students every year, each unique in their own ways. These students are committed to their families, understand the importance of education, and are determined to make their mark in society. This year's student speaker can be described in that manner and is incredibly respected by her peers and staff members throughout Tartan High School. She's committed to her work in the classroom and has a mature intellect that has made us all proud. Beyond the classroom, she is genuine. She's a humble individual that has proven to be a kind-hearted leader at Tartan. Please join me in welcoming our senior commencement speaker, Eustacia Ikiri.
How to write a graduation speech. Well, I could start with the basic, "We've made it after all, guys." I could also go with an insightful quote from Teddy Roosevelt, the Dalai Lama, or a wise man who once said. I sat and pondered this question one night while I watched the clock tick by as I tried to formulate the perfect symphony of phrases and witty puns with which to commemorate our last 4 years. 10 minutes later, I found myself staring at a blank piece of paper. The truth was, I could not think of any flawless lines, smooth rhetoric, or impeccable diction to define our high school experience, or the experience that we will have ahead of us. However, standing here in front of my fellow peers, family, and friends, I now understand why the words seemed to evade me at that moment. I stand here to tell you that there is no perfect experience in life. There never has been, and there never will be. As opposed to what Saved by the Bell may convey in its storyline, our last 4 years before adulthood had not been filled with high fives, easy fixes, second chances, or spontaneous Zach Morris monologues. In fact, for many of us, these past 4 years were probably the most challenging we have ever faced in our lives. They were filled with all-nighters, getting up early to get extra help in the mornings, and figuring out how to balance schoolwork and extracurricular activities. But in just a few moments, when each of us will walk across this stage, collect our diploma, and wave to the camera as our family gets that perfect shot, we will feel the results of all of that hard work. Of course, those 4 years of challenges in no way signifies that we have already paid our dues to chance and adversity. In fact, we are not even close to paying off the huge debt that is entrusted to us when we enter this world. This debt is like none other and cannot be paid off with money or bartering. This debt is opportunity, and the lender is unforgiving. We have all been lent the opportunity for education, the opportunity for success, and the opportunity to do something with it. I emphasize the word opportunity because that is exactly what it is. There are no givens or assurances. In fact, many of us would agree that our last 4 years have come to validate this claim. Whenever we had signed up for that AP class, or decided to join the cross-country team without being able to run a mile, or committed to raise the $1,000 or more for our relay team, we understood the fact that that task would not be easy. We understood that despite the year of notes, testing, and preparation, we may very well end up with a 2 on the AP exam. We understood that despite preparing over the summer and trying out for that sports team, we may not be selected. We understood that not getting the outcome that we wanted was very possible. However, did that stop any of us from embracing the odds and hoping for the best? Why did this not stop us, you may ask? It is because we understood that we had only the opportunity and not the guarantee. Instead, we chose to look at the more positive side of the odds. We dedicated ourselves to studying every night. We came in for that optional AP practice exam. We were out on the field on those bright and early mornings for those 7 a.m. summer practices. We showed up for every relay meeting and got those order forms in, completely filled in and on time. Even though we may have had a plan, we were flexible to the curveballs that were thrown our way. Of course, we have all gone through life with what we believe to be an airtight plan for what our future holds. But isn't this plan also subject to chance and failure? What will we do in the future when our entrepreneurial undertaking tanks, or when we do not get selected into the next season's draft, or when climbing up the corporate ladder turns out to be an unexpectedly slippery endeavor? What do we do when adversity hits us like a runaway train? And it will. Well, what we will do is start over from scratch. What we will do is to understand the inevitable without letting the realization cripple our thirst for success. Each of us, you and I, are here now because of countless seconds, countless minutes, and countless hours that we have put into getting that piece of paper with that leather covering. But our diplomas are not the real results of our success. The real result lies in the fact that opportunity is knocking at our doors at this moment. It is asking us to brace ourselves and step out into a world so cold that at times we will lose sight of all hope. Many of us know how to do this simply by having lived much of our lives in Minnesota. Opportunity is asking us to have the courage to seize it and to run with it, no matter what the turnout may be. After all, has anything that has been worth doing been a guarantee? Right now, we are standing at the door. This moment has been approximately 15,552,000 seconds in the making. This is ours to take, and most importantly, ours to shape. So, class of 2015, I ask of you this. When you walk onto this stage, you must remember that feeling that you will experience. Wonder why you are feeling that strange, anxious, wonderful, proud, and beautiful feeling. The reason that you are feeling that rush of emotion is because you hear opportunity knocking. Class of 2015, I urge you to open that door and welcome opportunity in. Congratulations.
Tartan faculty members select seniors annually that best represent highly valued qualities, leadership, academic achievement, and school citizenship. These students earn the Tartan High School Outstanding Senior Award. This year's award recipients are Carly Boyle and Jacob Lyle. The Titan Award is presented each year to a male and female student based on their remarkable contributions to Tartan High School and personal achievements in academics, athletics, and co-curricular activities. This year's recipients of the Titan Award are Carly Boyle and Kevin McPherson. The Tartan High School Band, under the direction of Dr. Tony Didier, will perform a musical mix from the movie The Incredibles, followed by the choir's performance of Awaken the Music, led by Mrs. Tracy Hansen.
Set? Thomas, you all set? Set?
At this time, please join me in welcoming our District 622 School Board Chairperson, Mrs. Teresa Auger, to the podium.
Graduates, parents, teachers, invited guests, and colleagues, wow, what a big day for our graduates. As your Board of Education, we couldn't be happier or prouder of each of you. Our message tonight is brief. If you are at all apprehensive about what lies ahead, rest assured knowing that you are ready for anything. Remember, the best way to predict your future is to create it. Your education foundation is strong. We saw to that. Your opportunities were many. You are prepared to enter this next phase of life. Savor every adventure. And as Mark Twain once said, sing like no one is listening, love like you've never been hurt, dance like nobody is watching, and live like it's heaven on earth. Our wish is that you find a dance floor and you are successful in whatever life should lead you. And now for the diplomas.
We will now formally recognize the class of 2015. We understand the immense pride and happiness that many of you are feeling at this point. On behalf of the graduates in Tartan High School, I ask that you respect the formal nature of this ceremony and help us make it as dignified and respectful as possible. Please hold your applause and shouts of encouragement until all of the graduates' names have been read. We do not want to miss a student's name being read as a result of a short celebration, no matter how well intended. Thank you for respecting all of our graduates and making this a formal ceremony and a night to cherish. Superintendent Phillips and members of the school board, on behalf of the educators at Tartan High School, I certify that the diploma candidates seated before you have met the graduation requirements outlined by the state of Minnesota and Independent School District 622. Chair Auger and members of the school board, we are ready for you to confer the diplomas. Seniors Anthony Mazza and Donna Fisher will read each candidate's name.
Cole Ryan Adamson.
James Raymond Armstrong.
Kimberly Daniela Aguirre.
Robert George Armstrong.
Carol Neo Alihonu.
Alexa Ray Alexander.
Akusa Birago Amankwa.
Emafa Gashi Amazu.
Caitlin Elizabeth Anderson.
Jessica Carol Anderson.
Samuel Benjamin Anderson.
Shauna Marie Anderson.
Tina Lorraine Anderson.
Damian Daniel Anderson Jr.
Connor James Anderson Krieger.
Emily Rose Artega.
Isaac Andre Audette.
Brandon Michael Ide.
Tori Lynn Bachman.
Brett Roger Ide.
Thomas Yui Bao.
Bryce Carl Ide.
Freya Birka Barahona.
Ashley Nicole Barron.
Bailey Marie Bartz.
Lena Abdella Bata.
Ryan Lee Berth.
Alejandro Becerra Ruiz.
Bailey Reese Beeler.
Ryan Thomas Belland.
Hannah Rose Bank.
Alyssa May Bender.
Bennett Jewel Benke.
Blake Alexander Benson.
Weston Clark Benke.
Aaliyah Joe Berg.
Barkat Aeromo Biranu.
Bria Rose Berg.
Leanne D. Berkey.
Blake Daniel Betland.
Samuel Douglas Betts.
Kyle Weston Beal.
Gavin Charles Beener.
Kendra Shabazz Billinger.
Bradley Charles Bistrom.
Taylor Michaela Blakeman.
Travis James Bowden.
Zachary Thomas Bolt.
Madison Stephanie Bonnywell.
Jacob Arthur Borchers.
Taylor Nicole Bowen.
Carly Ann Boyle.
Maria Elisa Braun.
Miranda Josephine Brave.
Holly Jane Brent.
Livia Lexis Brockman.
Victoria Mary Brooks.
Ariana Lynn Brown.
Gabriella Nicole Brown.
Alexander Robert Broyles.
Dulce Rocio Buezo Guzman.
Austin Robert Bullard.
Nicole Elizabeth Busker.
Ariana Lynn Campanero.
Hope Chloe Capistrand.
Matthew Austin Cartoni.
Robert John Carver Jr.
Calvin Chow.
Yesenia Chavez.
David Bun Chem.
Samantha Hope Sincata.
Isabel Marie Collins.
Andrew Douglas Collins.
Jocelyn Christine Corlett.
Dylan Richard Conrad.
Arthur Eddie Crandall.
Abigail Lair Cooney.
Aaron James Dalton.
Noah Everett Daigle.
Eric Ross Denweddy.
Alondra Josefina de la Torre.
Alexander Lee Deutschman.
Kelly Marie Deschler.
Sydney Reese Diekman.
Adam Richard Dickinson.
Aaron Rose Draves.
Lydia Defa Dodo.
Matthew Donald Drosky.
Elizabeth Catherine Drobinski.
Jessica James Doomer.
Brooklyn Rose Dugan.
Lauren Sarah Eggy.
Isaiah Charles Edwards.
Olivia Rose Ide.
Kayla Mee Eggert.
Anastasia Michelle Ellis.
Connor Thomas Ellingson.
Ashley Nicole Erickson.
Jonathan William England.
Egvardo Esquivel.
Michael Anthony Legreal Esquera.
Ruth Ezekiel.
Thomas Nolan Ethier.
Efe Mona Famadi.
Rochelle Marie Fabian.
Mallory Suzanne Fensky.
Brady Allen Felth.
Sarah Elizabeth Flynn.
Alexander Robert Filipkowski.
Deontay Jawan Forte Nelson.
Peyton Christopher Floyd.
Alyssa Donnie Lee Seu Franklin.
Jessica Ann Fortier.
Rachel Ann Fullen.
Karina Miroslava Franco Melendez.
Yonatan Brahanu Gerbi.
Alyssa Marie Frickson.
Sarah Ann Giese.
David Kungu Gasengesi.
Micah Reed Global.
John Patrick Garay.
Jacqueline Gonzalez.
Jory Adriana Gervais Given.
Christopher James Grasky.
Gabriela May Gomez John.
Andrew Jacob Gravum.
Keegan Thomas Gore.
Charles Henry Green.
Cole Charles Grasky.
Aviante Lee Griffin.
Christopher Lamond Graves Jr.
Nathaniel David Hacker.
Corey James Gregory.
Jacqueline Joy Hamilton.
Sean David Gulbranson.
Bronson McQuaid Hain.
Taylor Carey Hafner.
Allison Blake Harris.
Nicholas Robert Hamilton.
Allison Jean Hazard.
Annie Frances Hanson.
Thomas John Henschel.
Ryan Matthew Hartzell.
Michelle Herr.
Thomas Allen Hebel.
Peter Nye Herr.
Candace Pongli Her.
Natalie Ray Herzog.
Bombay Isabel Her.
Anthony Joseph Hinsey.
Brandon Michael Herbst.
Julia McAllister Holdrud.
Emily Ann Higgins.
Aurora Amaria Holmes.
Michelle Marie Hoffer.
Justine Beatrice Horton.
Emily Jane Holmberg.
Elijah Bentley Hudak.
Charles Rolland Horton.
Kendon Scott Iverson.
Andrew Eric Horwath.
Carson Patrick Jennings.
Eustacia Chiamaka Ikeri.
Mackenzie Starr Johnson.
Joshua Anthony Jansen.
Montrell Robert Johnson Heyman.
Douglas Warner Johnson.
Simone Alexandria Jones.
Summer Lynn Johnson Fleischauer.
Gabriella Francis Jungman.
Savannah Skylin Jones.
Olivia Ann Jungman.
Spencer Michael Jones.
Emma Rose Klingsborn.
Shaylee Sinovia Camp.
Nathan Russell Koner.
Arvisha Janae Kelly.
Corey Lee Kratiger.
Isaac William Koch.
Jacob Ryan Coomer.
Amanda Lynn Karan.
Lu Nak La.
Julia Elizabeth Kugler.
Thomas John Langer.
Wenzel Thomas Cust.
Benjamin Maxwell Larson.
Erica Marie Lagoon.
Alexis Antigone Leclerc.
Andrew Kirk Larson.
Hannah Goli Lee.
Brianna Nicole Larson.
LaShawn Joseph Whalen Lee.
Simone Ray Ledoux.
Kaylee Marie Lier.
Joelle Yupeng Lee.
Caitlin Marie Linder.
Kan Huang Lehu.
Linus Notup Lee.
Megan May Lenling.
Fisher Douglas Longwell.
Michael Nathan Lundquist Jr.
Oscar Daniel Lopez Latoya.
Sarah Marie Lockhart.
Buddy Margaret Lee.
Cesario Juan Lopez III.
Leslie Ann Madeira.
Cassidy Nicole Lundblad.
Lyric Alexis Major.
Jacob Thomas Lyle.
Adir Alexander Maldu.
Aiden Lynn Maines.
Rebecca Evelyn Marcotte.
Charles James Maines.
Sabrina Lynn Marty.
Nicholas Michael Martin.
Matthew Tyler May.
Daniel John Maslowski.
Erica K. McDonald.
Kevin James McPherson.
Eileen Dejanira Medina Gonzalez.
Benjamin Kevin Meter.
Jared Michael Marion.
Haley Marie Methner.
Courtney Michelle Mirth.
Alicia Marie Meyer.
Amy Christine Mavison.
Madeline Louise Miller.
Benjamin John Miller.
Joseph William Mishke.
Deanna Joyce Moeller.
Ebenezer Elizabeth Bonoreri Momanyi.
Jacob Thomas Moreland.
Corey Michael Moots.
Megan Michelle Moore.
Paduachi Mua.
Kayla Joy Morris.
Devon Chuaseng Mua.
Monica Addison Musichu.
Taylor Ray Mueller.
Camille Elizabeth Mudd.
Thomas Paul Myers.
Warren Morell.
Bana Tommy Nagasi.
Vasu Dave Nambury.
Benjamin Gerald Nisler.
Sabda Mahag Na Geu.
Okoin Okello Obang.
Chude Freddie Nabaju.
Taylor Robert O'Donnell.
James Abru Aku.
Nicole Marie Olson.
Nakia Asumu Afili.
Dominic Anthony Oman Miklich.
Taylor Christine Olson.
Sarah Grace Ormson.
Victoria Lynn Orlando.
Connor Ray O'Sullivan.
Joseph Broderick Osell.
Carly Elizabeth Palmer.
Logan John Palmatier.
Obed Akau P.
Evan Rawlings Panatier.
Mitchell Robert Perkins Kozat.
Jennifer Perea.
Madeline Lorraine Peterson.
Stephanie Perea.
Felicia Kathleen Philibert.
Sarah Christine Peterson.
Janella Virginia Powell.
Whitney Marie Plaster.
James Richard Prell.
Justin Edward Prey.
Jacqueline Mariela Ramirez Vasquez.
Bradley Arnold Prish.
Eric David Reddy.
Jacob Michael Rosh.
Naime Gabriela Ramirez.
Maddie Lane Reeves.
Harrison Timothy Ressler.
Kellen William Renstrom.
Tucker Douglas Raints.
Liliana Catriona Reyes.
Callie Ann Ritchie.
Alan Lewis Richardson.
Marisa Ray Rocky.
Naira Juliette Rios.
Amaris Alexis Marche Romero.
Jessica May Robinette.
Joseph Harold Rongstad.
Josephat Roman.
Hallie Lynn Rotter.
Miguel Antonio Austin Romero.
Jordan Taylor Rowan Stafford.
Taylor Jade Rosine.
Roman Alexander Ruiz.
Brandon John Rasul.
Macgino Sahagan.
Avery Marie Roy.
Jacob Arthur Sass.
Nolan Ryan Russell.
Tara Christine Shell.
Taylor Joe Sandholm.
Savannah Ray Schultz.
Anthony Joseph Shara.
Nathan Yusuf Sabatu.
Pamela Lynn Schutz.
Drew Allen Severson.
Trenton Joseph Schultz.
Megan Elizabeth Smallman.
Lindsay Jean Singer.
Annika Joy Snyder.
Victoria Ann Slowick.
Casey Robert William Stein.
Carson Michael Smellick.
Diego Benz Steffens.
Erica Ann Swanson.
Caitlin Elizabeth Strakota.
Jacob Michael Steinberg.
Elizabeth Ann Tabeka.
Kaylee Evelyn Stiff.
Chia Neng Tao.
Nicholas John Tangin.
Joanne Tao.
Ethan Tashia Tao.
Vanessa Tao.
Kua Tao.
Jocelyn Amber Thompson.
Bradley Isaac Thomas.
Tyler Dwayne Thompson.
Marissa May Thompson.
Kalijah Monique Ulmer.
Corey Joseph Turner.
Selena Ung.
Hannah Jean Ulrich.
Elijah Chimeng Vang.
Danny Lynn Urbanak.
Mason Nuchi Vang.
Isaiah Chang Vang.
Pada Vang.
Nicholas Adam Vang.
Nicole Teresa Villeneuve.
Brian David Vidine.
China Hana Vu.
Paul Singh Verk.
Shahan Vuvan.
Nancy Vu.
Michael Wang.
Mariah Rose Waller.
Richard Eugene Weingartner.
John Michael Waters.
Samuel Robert Wetzel.
Austin Edward Wrzinski.
Lillian Marie Wiggin.
Brandon William Wickner.
Nathan Ralph Witzel.
Jacob Michael Willenbring.
Zachary Ryan Wydra.
Patrick Seamus Wolking.
Gali Gaoli Zhang.
Andy Tae Mua Zhang.
Michael Zhang.
Mi Zhang.
Tu Zhang.
Stanley T. Zhang.
Zhong Cheng Yang.
Ashley Yang.
Cassidy Ga No Yang.
Gao Ying Jessica Yang.
Liberty Panhia Yang.
Kong Mong Yang.
Nina Gaoli Yang.
Nancy N. Yang.
Christina Karen Yost.
Shua Yang Yang.
Oscar Saul Zambrano.
Zachariah Abdiaziz Yusuf.
And finally, Donna Lee Fisher.
And Anthony Michael Mazda.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the Tartan High School graduates from the class of 2015.